5 best basketball shoes for the 2026 NBA season, and this is going to be for the fall and winter. So this video is a reaction video made by the Foot Doctor Zach. Video will be linked down below in the description, and check out not only the video but the creator. Let's go ahead and hop straight into the video, and let's not do too much talking.
The start of, hey, what's up, Zach here, and it is that time of year again, the start of another NBA season, and these are my top 5.
Y'all, let me know what y'all favorite team is in the comments, man. I feel like as a kid I was a bandwagon. I feel like I had them Curry jerseys, I had them LeBron jerseys, but you know, it happens. I feel like, you know, as a kid you kind of just, you know, kind of trying to ride the wave, if I can put it the best way. But my current favorite team, and one that I haven't actually changed from a little bit, is the Lakers. I feel like I was a big LeBron fan, so I feel like that kind of impacted me, but it kind of also works well because I am in LA, born and raised in California, so I guess that kind of works out for me. Let me know what y'all team is. Let me know if y'all kind of pick a team based on a player. Is it based on where you live? Let me know how you guys go about that.
Shoes for the start of the 2025-2026 NBA season, winter 2025-2026. Let's get into it. And I know I say this in literally every top 5 or ultimate guide video, but remember, there is no one best shoe. There's just a best shoe for you. So keep that in mind with this list. Honestly, I love hearing what people's top 5s are in the comments. So whatever yours are, let me know in the comments down below, because I like to kind of compare and contrast what I'm seeing versus what the community is seeing, because obviously you out there in the community probably a much better player than I am. A lot of people in this community are very, very high level players, and they come to this channel for a different perspective. So I like seeing what yours is, because obviously yours is probably going to be more skewed toward the, you know, the more elite.
I think here he's
so
just
I'd love to know the number 5
kind of make it
shoe,
a good intro.
And that is an oldie but a goodie now on this channel, and that is the Nike Sabrina 3. Now I know a lot of people complained about these because
I heard about that Sabrina 2. Y'all let me know anything you know about the Sabrina 2. I don't know anything personally, but I have seen it in my comments of like previous videos where I've done like best basketball shoes list, top 5 basketball shoes, things like that. Even my Jaw 3 review too. So let me know what y'all think about the Sabrina line.
they were very, very similar to the Sabrina 2.
Looks very, very dope.
And they are.
Mainly,
you know, it's kind of an upper refresh, and I do love the pleats in the uppers. I do think you get a little bit more containment. The thing is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Sabrinas are really popular for a reason, right? You know, they really kind of are the next evolution in the Kobe lineup in terms of that philosophy of shoe. And I think that they do it just as well as any other shoe. Yes, they have basic materials. Like, there is nothing overtly technologically fascinating about these, but they do make the best use of all the materials in the shoe. The shape of the shoe, the flange on them, like I said, in the Sabrina 3, I do like the uppers in the Sabrina 3 more than the 2s and the 1s for sure. Really, I mean, if you're looking for a more nimble shoe that you can, you know, put the jets on, you have just enough hops in them, but also enough comfort. You can put an orthotic in them, got the double thickness heel counter. Like I said, if it ain't broke from the 2s, why fix it in the 3s? All right, and coming in at number 4 on this list is a newcomer, and that is the 361
Smooth,
Big.
y'all. Be on the lookout. That Sabrina 3 I'm sure is new, and I'm gonna go ahead and check that while I save my piece. But
3.
I definitely gotta get me on a Nike Sabrina, even if it isn't like a, you know, like a new iteration when it drops, even if it's like a new colorway. But let me just briefly see, y'all, bear with me real quick. Nike Sabrina 3 main release in July, so summertime. Okay, cool, that's fine. So I believe some other colorways, I see some other ones that drop 26th of July, September. We got a gamer colorway come out, ice cold. Y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all, it's gonna be on the channel very, very soon, and I'm not sure where my video went. There we go.
6.0. These things are just insane. Number 1, with all the lateral containing elements on them, the external heel counter.
Whoa. So y'all, I don't know if I'm just out the loop that much, but what is the 361 Big 3 6.0? And I'm sure he's about to say it, but let me know anything you guys know outside of what he says. Is this a signature
insane number 1
sneaker
with all the lateral containing elements on them, the external heel counter, and then the shank that acts as a platform on the medial side. It sandwiches the more thermoplastic foam, a little more of the forgiving foam underneath. I love when companies do this, when they put a little bit more of the bouncy foam on top and then a little more of the forgiving, really thin layer underneath of it, just to give it enough forgiveness. These ones have really nice breathing through the honeycombing on the inside of the shoe. really, these ones got a super high rating. And honestly, these could be, you know, a shoe of the year. To me, you know, they're in the mix in terms of, you know, best shoe out there. But yeah, to me, in terms of pure performance, this is maybe the best shoe out there. And also in terms of lateral containment with the bounce, yeah, just out of this world. Okay, coming in at number 3 is a tie, and this is gonna seem a little bit weird to some people, but just hear me out throughout the whole explanation. You'll get why I'm saying this. Number 1, it is the Nike Freak 7, as well as the New Balance 2A V5. Now, the reason I put these two together is because they're very, very similar shoes. Nike somehow, in making the Zoom Freak, now just the Freak line, into a completely different line of shoes, somehow stumbled upon like New Balance's formula in terms of making a really forgiving but also like, you know, easy moving shoe. Now the Freak 7, all it really has is top loaded shank and then cushion on the bottom, but the shape of them, the way they're made, the outsole tread, the full length pattern of it, the lateral flange on them, they're mid so that they fit even bulkier orthotics. Honestly, this is like the simplest, most basic Freak shoe we've ever seen, and yet I absolutely, in terms of recommending shoes, I love them. And honestly, they remind me so much of the 2A.
You guys, I will give my little 2 cents on that Freak 7, you guys. This is my very first Freak trying, because I am kind of new to the overall basketball space. In terms of shoes, I have been a basketball player, but in terms of the way I review my shoes, in terms of the way, like, you know, I kind of test them, I'm kind of new to it in that kind of way. But the Freak 7 had something that was very unique, and I feel like it, as he was kind of saying, the materials, what's done to the sneaker on the interior is not anything special, but it's one of those that kind of covers every single area you need, whether it's comfort, whether it's fit, traction. I feel like it just does all those different type of things. So this is definitely one of the ones, the Freak 7 for me. And I will say this so I kind of give you guys a little better what to expect when it comes to this sneaker. But the thing for me that I did really like, that I feel like the Nike A1 kind of filled the gap on. Nike A1 is another one of those sneakers that's very affordable, but it didn't have a nice transition. Like the toe off wasn't the best. It's kind of more on the flat side, but that's just my personal thing. I've also came to know that if a shoe is contoured too much, like if you're wearing that shoe too often, it could kind of impact your foot health in a negative way. So I guess having that nice, you know, like toe off, that nice rocker type of system, from, you know, that toe spot to the heel counter wouldn't be the best, but that was just my personal thing. That was my personal thing.
The 2A line, I still think maybe a little bit. I still recommend these more just because you can get them in widths more. The Fresh Foam X in the rear foot, that's really nice. The shank is a little bit stronger on them. You can fit orthotics, and I actually did. Sometimes I'll go on Reddit every so often just to kind of see what's going on. I'm not on there a lot, but sometimes I'll be on there. And I did see someone post about how they had these for over a year and was using them quite a bit, and they still looked really, really good. And I kind of had that experience too with a bunch of 2As that I've used for kind of multi-sport, and the durability has been kind of outsized for being a shoe that can be used on indoor and outdoor courts and get the performance of both. So really a more like forgiving EVA-based shoe, the Freak 7 or the 2As, no doubt about it. I think these are the two best on the market. All right, coming in at number 2 is a tie for a completely different reason. Reason is one of the shoes is bumping up in model year. I don't know what the availability is going to be like going into winter for the one, you know, for the one versus the other. So You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. And coming in at number 2 is number 1, the Joker 1 from 361, either the G.
There we go. I answered my own question, or he answered my question. That is the Joker shoes, 361. That's one I've never heard about. Interesting. They must pay them a bag. They must definitely pay them a bag. I can't lie.
Or just the regular, the GTSE. They're all fantastic. But the other shoe is the Way of Wade.
But you know what's crazy? I feel like we have to acknowledge how great for an iteration 1 shoe to be on a best basketball shoe list. I feel like it takes multiple iteration or multiple different tries at anything in the world for it to be number 1 or even in that top, you know, top 3. So I feel like we got to get that Joker the praise, 13 man.
Encore. I thought
I wonder if this Joker is sold in stores.
A clear step up from the 13s. Number 1, because you do get the option of a dorsal retention strap. You can get the Encores with or without them. And then the foam setup is kind of a more traditional way of Wade foam setup with the boom, plus the sandwiched plastic composite shank. So still, a little bit more forgiveness in there, but also a ton of snapback. And then you've got the 2 lateral flanges on here. I mean, the 13s were fantastic. I know some people didn't like the moon cratering in the heel on the outside. These ones have stripped that out. So all in all, in terms of performance, the 13s, just a pure performance. I know I said about the big 3s, but the 13s might be the best shoe on this list in terms of pure that. But the 2 of them are kind of thermoplastic with the pretty premium shank plus the premium uppers. So they're both really good. I don't know what the Joker 2 is going to do. I've seen them online. 361 has told me as soon as they come out, I'll get one, but that might be a little bit. So I don't know what the availability is going to be like for the ones during the transition. You know what I mean. So either of these 2, though, fantastic. They kind of occupy a similar space in the lineup, but yeah, for a debut signature shoe, the Joker one was out as well.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Also,
For
like
number 1,
the 13 Encore, I thought was a little bit of a step up from the 13. Before I get to the number 1 shoe, I want to let you know about all the new perks that have dropped in the membership section of this channel. There's a 99-cent tier, which gets you priority response to comments, then badges and emojis. Then there's the $4.99 tier, which gets you all of that, but also access to the weekly live stream, which is basically recapping all the shoes I've reviewed during the week, getting to comments and questions and things I may just not have been able to get to in the reviews, or just, maybe things that have come up during the week that I've seen in the comments. I'll look ahead into the next week and let you know what shoes are coming up that I'll be reviewing. You'll also get a chance to request shoes to review.
Super dope, y'all. If y'all interested in any of the memberships he got,
necessarily
go ahead and check them out.
Through some of my whole video and things, but holidays. So if you want to check that out to join, I know that there's a ton of new models of shoes that come out and people want to see the latest and greatest, but
pre-predictions, y'all, we're gonna see a Kobe 6 probably, or something of the sort.
Nothing that has eclipsed the KT10, just like the fresh.
Whoa, is this? I believe this is a Klay Thompson, right? Klay Thompson, KT10, man, number 1. Never thought this would be an Anta.
Foam BBV2 before it, where that was number 1 on the list for a couple of times running. Nothing has beat this. This is the best until proven otherwise. Yes, the Joker ones, the 361s, the 2 ways, they're all perennial top shoes, but these ones have I haven't seen anything that has been able to compete on every single level with the KT10. I hope the 11s are as good. I really do. I hope that they don't go too far away from this philosophy because this was such a home run. So really, it's hard to go into a whole diatribe about these because they do everything so well. And there's just not much room for improvement on these. I think if anything, it'd be the tread. But it's one of these shoes where it's like the BBV2.
Looks amazing.
There's not much wrong with it, right? So when something new comes along and eclipses it, I think is better. I will certainly put it at the number 1 spot. Like I said, I know people like to see the newest, latest, and greatest, but like I said with the Sabrinas, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, especially on these top 5 lists. So love to hear, like I said, your thoughts in the comments down below.
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna cop it off, yeah. That number 1 basketball shoe definitely threw me off. Let me know if it threw you off too. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. I really appreciate you for sticking around this far. Man, I really appreciate you, and I recommend if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe now, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on these daily uploads. But man, I feel like these videos are just so great because they allow you to see like not only the models that have done good in the past, but also you get to be like introduced to some new things. Like even for me, I didn't know that Anta KT10 was going to be introduced. I didn't even know about the Joker shoe at all. So this is a very great way to go ahead and be introduced and, just informed about new sneakers. So let's go ahead and continue this momentum. I really recommend. I have a top 5 basketball shoes list that I've made that kind of completed for 2025 so far, because it is almost the end, but we're not at the end yet. So I recommend you click the video right here, which is going to be a very great video for you to watch, and I'm sure you'll find some options that you'll like. I'll see you on that one.